feel their pain. The truth is out, the case is closed, but our search for justice never slows.
Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope everyone is having a good day. My day was pretty uneventful. I've been sick since I felt like I was getting sick the day before Thanksgiving, and then the day of Thanksgiving, it just hit me. Like my throat was super sore and scratchy. And today is actually the first day that I've felt better. Still congested, but at least I can function. Hey AP, how are you? Angie, thanks for being here. Sinner, as always. So yeah, tomorrow back to work. I'm planning on going back to work. Hopefully, I don't get worse or feel, like crap tomorrow morning. But today we are going to look at some new information. I don't want to say updates because there's not really any update, but new information surrounding the, I don't want to say disappearance, but yeah, I guess, Hannah kind of just disappeared. So, Hannah, for those of you who don't know, Hannah Kobayashi is a 30-year-old from Hawaii who is missing. She was last seen at Los Angeles International Airport, or LAX, and her phone last pinged on November 11th at LAX. There have been sightings of Hannah, allegedly. I've been looking into it, and a lot of the sightings have not been confirmed by law enforcement. They have been confirmed by the family. So we had learned, I can't remember, I think it was Monday or Tuesday when I covered this case. There was someone had said they saw her like getting off the metro. Turns out it was a woman that I'm not sure how she got in touch with the family, if the family reached out to her or she reached out to them, but it was not confirmed. However, they now believe that Hannah was at Union Station catching a Greyhound bus. So, law enforcement also believes that Hannah intentionally missed her flight. The family is not happy with that statement, so we're going to get into that as well. Hey, Sunday, how are you? Hey, Shelly. Yeah, thanks, Sunday. I've definitely been drinking tea, and it was weird. Usually I always have Mucinex, but I had Mucinex, but only for sinus congestion, not like everything else. So once I got the other medicine, I haven't slept in 2 nights, but at least I'm hoping I can sleep tonight. It's too early to be sick. Like, it's, it is December now, but come on. Hey, Sober Pug, how are you? Tracy, thanks for being here. Hey, Road Rash, good to see you. Yeah, Vapor Rub. Yep. And I do cayenne pepper gargle. I know it sounds, well, it is. It burns really bad, but it numbs your throat, and germs don't like cayenne. So it actually is, double bonus. So, hey, Squids, how are you? Hey, Narcos, good to see you. Meg, yes, thank you. So I'm just glad to be back because there's so many stories I want to cover, and yesterday I started talking and I would cough, and it's just, we've all been there. All right, so we are going to first start with a statement from Hannah's family. And I wanted to go to the Facebook group, but I didn't. I just realized that I am a member of the group on my personal Facebook, not my headstones. So I requested it, but they haven't accepted me yet. So I send it to myself. So it's kind of small, but it excuse me, it does the job. So this is from Hannah's sister, Sydney. And this was yesterday, so 22 hours ago. Statement from Hannah's mother and sister. We are devastated by Hannah's disappearance and now my father Ryan's passing. So for those of you who may not have been following Hannah's case, Hannah's dad was found deceased last week. The medical examiner ruled that he died by suicide. There's a lot of like negative statements going around about Mr. Kobayashi, and the family is saying like, please stop. It's really they need to they still want to focus on Hannah and getting Hannah home. Oh, give me 1 second. My chat just messed up. There we go. Hey, Tiny Trees, how are you? It is completely out of character for Hannah to simply disappear without a trace. We remain deeply concerned about Hannah's safety, her well-being, and her current state of mind. Hannah, if you happen to see this, know we are not going to give up or stop searching until we find you. We know that this is something you would never do on your own accord unless you felt some type of threat or you were unwell. We know how much you love all of us, and we love you deeply. We are doing everything in our power to locate Hannah. Based on information, surveillance footage reviewed, and information shared with us, these are the facts known to my mother and I. It does not appear that Hannah intentionally missed her flight. So this is where the family and law enforcement are in disagreement. The family does not believe she intentionally missed her flight. Law enforcement believes she did. My mother and I were unaware about the alleged findings presented at the Los Angeles Police Commission meeting until multiple videos of the meeting were sent to us by multiple citizens. These alleged findings have yet to be relayed to my mother and I directly from the chief of the Los Angeles Police Department or any detective involved in Hannah's case. My mother and I would later learn that the police commission is a 5-member committee made up of 5 civilians, not law enforcement, who are not directly involved in Hannah's missing persons case. Oh, no, I don't want to zoom out. Oh, damn it. Okay, there we go. Specific facts contained in that report were inaccurate, such as Hannah's age. Hannah is 30 years old, not 23. And in that police commissioner meeting, they did state that Hannah was 23 years old. She is not. She is 30. However, other media outlets are reporting that she's 31 years old. I don't think, the age does matter. However, in those circumstances, I don't think it was relevant in that it's going to mess up the case. Also, Hannah was reported missing to law enforcement on November 11th, not November 13th, as stated by the chief of the LAPD. That's interesting. The lack of communication surrounding some important details has left us feeling excluded from potentially crucial developments. However, we do remain hopeful and optimistic that the Los Angeles Police Department is doing everything in their power to assist us in locating Hannah. When my mother and I learned of Hannah's last confirmed sighting, we shared it publicly. We did so because our priority is to bring Hannah home safely. My mother and I have remained transparent from the onset of this case, and we will continue to be transparent. And with that, I'm wondering, because as I stated before, and we had talked about last week, give me 1 second, everybody. Sorry about that. As I had said last week, the family had said that Hannah had been seen at the Pico metro station, and she was with an unidentified male, that there was a sighting of her. And so they're releasing some photos, and then they're not releasing others. And it's my opinion that the reason they didn't release a photo from the Pico station is because it was a woman who recognized Hannah. It wasn't necessarily surveillance video. Because why wouldn't they? But I do believe law enforcement knows more than they're stating, because it's an active investigation. We'll see. I agree, Sunday. I agree. Getting the facts wrong is a bit disturbing. Yeah, it is. And I mean, like, it was, I guess, so it wasn't a press conference or anything like that. It was like a meeting of police, like a board or something. And my understanding is that they review many missing person cases. They kind of talk about things going on. And Hannah's case was one of those that they talked about. And I agree, they shouldn't have gotten the details wrong, because it's not hard to even just write it down so that you get them right. But yeah. Hey, Shaylee, how are you? All right, let me get back over here. Okay. While we continue our search for Hannah widely, we will be focusing on the Southern California area, specifically all regions of Los Angeles, Long Beach, and all regions of San Diego. And that's interesting because I would assume the family has information that would lead them to be searching those locations. We extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who continues to hold out. Oh, scratch that. We extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who continues to hold our family in their prayers, and to those positively contributing to our search efforts. Thank you to those continuing to demonstrate grace. We truly are suffering beyond measure. With love and gratitude, Sydney Kobayashi. And that, again, was from their from the Help Find Hannah Facebook group. So I will share that link with you in chat. Give me 1 second. Copy link. I'm waiting to be approved as a member of it. Hey, Pookie, how are you? SoFlo, thanks for being here. Sunnyside. Did I say hi to you, Sunnyside? I can't remember. If I did, hello again. All right, so we are now going to go to, I did find, this is from The Sun, but they have a video that sums up the case so far, up to this point. So for those of you who may not have been following Hannah's case, this will be a good summary of everything that's been going on. All right.
Missing woman Hannah Kobayashi was last heard from on November 11th after missing a connecting flight from Los Angeles to New York 3 days before. The 30-year-old's disappearance has taken tragic twists and turns, from confusing text messages to the death of her father. On November 8th, Hannah left her home in Maui and arrived in LA for her connecting flight to New York at 11 p.m. But Hannah never made it, despite reportedly booking tickets worth hundreds of dollars for events in the city. The following day, when she was supposed to land at JFK Airport in New York, she is seen at a bookshop around an hour from Los Angeles International Airport. On November 10th, 2 days after missing her connected flight, a string of cryptic messages were sent from her phone, sparking huge concern from family and friends. In these messages, Hannah says she was scared about someone trying to steal her money and identity. Hannah's mum, Brandy Yee.
And so here you can see these, this was Hannah on the left, was Hannah departing her flight at LAX. The middle is a photo that was released by the family. And then the photo on the right was a YouTube creator was taking a video of the events at the Nike LeBron James event, and Hannah, for like a split second, appeared on video. So they knew at that point that she was still okay. She was just not at LAX. Oh, sorry. God, my chat keeps messing up. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. What, Pookie? Are you serious? They were calling Hannah that? There was a big creator basically calling her a spoiled brat today. That's really rude. Wow. Wow. If you get in the group, will you be able to speak on it here? Yes. I mean, I would share it. Yeah, it's just, so like the statement that I just read, that was actually from Facebook. I took a screenshot and then just read it. Yeah, email me, Pookie. Wow.
Had messaged her to see if she had landed in New York and received a 2-worded reply saying, "Not yet." Hannah also sent an eerie text to her friend saying, "I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved." Another message reportedly referenced a spiritual awakening and featured an apology for acting crazy. Hannah's worried aunt, Larry.
And I will say, if I need to find the text messages, we had that spreadsheet last week that had a lot of information, and they now have it on lockdown, which I find very interesting. So I'm going to look for those.
Harry Pigeon said one of the final messages she was sent from the missing woman spoke about the Matrix. The mystery deepened when she was seen at a Nike event in LA that same day. By Monday 11th, Hannah's phone placed her back at LAX and she posted a picture on her Instagram of the Nike event. Her phone was then switched off. A missing persons report for Hannah was filed 2 days later on after family members couldn't get through to her. Hannah's heartbroken sister, Sydney Kobayashi, has since said that the text may have been sent by someone else, admitting.
Okay, and I did find, we're going to just pause there for a moment. This is from the New York Post. Just to give some context of the text messages. So Hannah Kobayashi's friends think final texts before disappearance were faked because they don't include emojis. And this was from the 29th, which was Friday. Friends of missing Hawaii woman Hannah Kobayashi think the final string of text messages that family members and friends received from the photographer's cell phone are suspect and, quote, didn't sound like her. I had text messages with her, and the ones on those screenshots do not feel like her. Ariana Ursua, 30, a Hawaii-based freelancer, told the Post. She met Kobayashi in 2017 at the Whole Foods she worked at in Maui. Hannah Kobayashi, 30, a photographer, has been missing since November 11th. Her friends and family continue to search for answers. All the texts I have with her, they have emojis. She has a very distinct way of messaging, Ursula said. noting Kobayashi would typically end messages with heart emojis, stars, butterflies, waves, rainbows, and the like. She also said that Kobayashi, well, a genuine free spirit, isn't someone to just casually disappear. Oh, no, it's okay, Pookie. So here is one of them. So this says, I have stuff of value there. So I believe the it looks like the light, yes, the light blue is Hannah, and then her friend is the dark blue. So Hannah says, I have stuff of value there. Her friend says, you can go to the police, to the DMV, there are resources. Hannah said, I just need to rest and I'll think better. Her friend responds, yeah, I'm really confused. Hannah says, but it's very complicated. Her friend says, did you get catfish? Hannah responds, Matrix underworld shit, girl. This is way beyond me. Her friend responds, did you get catfish by some dude you were talking to on the internet? Hannah says, no, we met. I can't explain all of it. Just please be open with this, please. And then her friend says, if you can't explain, then, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point. I personally have always felt like I can rely on her. She's genuinely one of the most caring people I know. If it was voluntary that she went missing, she would have made it known. She would have made it known that she was texting, said Ursula, who said she last spoke with her friend on October 17th. I don't feel like it's her to make people concerned. She wouldn't just ghost out of nowhere. Usually at parties, she's the one that will make sure she says bye to her friend. She was literally messaging me about Burning Man 2025 next year. She was literally posting about New York in October when she was going in November. She loved dreaming and making those dreams happen. Kobayashi flew from Maui to Los Angeles on November 8th and was slated to depart on a connecting flight to New York City, where she planned to visit her aunt 42 minutes later. And there's that photo again of Hannah getting off the plane. Hey, Callie Dime. Then what? That message sounds a little cryptic, but her friend seems to know what she's talking about. Yeah, a little bit. Like, because why would she have said you got catfished? You know what I mean? Like, it's not. Let me. Come on, New York Post. Ugh, are you kidding me? So if I just go back up to, right, because, yeah, and you don't see what she said before. So she said something about stuff of value there. And then she said, it's complicated. And then her friend said, did you get catfished? And then did you get catfished by some dude you were talking to on the internet? So it's like she knew Hannah may have been talking to someone on the internet. I don't know if you would just come out and say that randomly. All right, so if we go back here, so this is from another friend, Kobayashi's former roommate in Maui. Alyssa Peterson noted the use of hun in some text messages felt strange. What was most concerning was the use of the word hun. She does say loving words like that, but it felt kind of cryptic, her message. So to another friend, she says, I might go to a home, and again, we don't see what's before this. So it says, I might go to a homeless shelter. Her friend says, you should go back to Maui. Hannah says, I literally can't love. Her friend responds, you shouldn't be spending money to continue traveling. You have a home and you need to go back to it. Yes, you can. Where's your ID? Hannah responds, I have it and my passport. Her friend responds, go buy a plane ticket to Maui. Hannah responds, it's a really long story, hun. Her friend says, I can't help if I don't know what's going on. If you have ID, you can buy a ticket. Go to the counter at Hawaiian Airlines. And then it says unanswered voice call at 4:01 p.m. So I would assume that her friend tried video calling her. I'm not sure. Oh, and Pookie, I just saw your earlier comment. Maybe she was trying to make sure they knew there was trouble. Possibly, like just, giving them. She and her ex-boyfriend were booked on the same flights, but were expected to part ways once they arrived in New York. And the ex-boyfriend did make the connecting flight and arrived in New York. So I had said on my last live, if the boyfriend made the flight, why didn't Hannah? Did she walk a lot slower than him? Did she, stop and get food thinking she wasn't going to make it anyways? I just find it interesting that the ex-boyfriend made the flight, but she didn't. Yes, Callie. So when they were together, they had planned to take the trip to New York together. Hannah was going to be staying with her aunt. Her ex-boyfriend was going to be staying with a friend. Well, they broke up and the tickets were non-refundable. So they both continued their plans to go to New York. Excuse me. But Kobayashi never made the second flight. On November 9th, Kobayashi was then seen at a bookshop an hour away from Los Angeles International Airport. LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell said the investigation determined missing her connecting flight was, quote, intentional. Callie, we all have questions. Yes, we do. It's a bizarre case in that there's, there have allegedly been these sightings of Hannah in different places in LA, but I would assume that's why the LAPD believes that it was intentional, because she's doing things that present that. Yeah, Pookie, I saw the one of Union Station just to I watched it just to see the layout. But it's very close to, oh my gosh, no, I don't remember. There was that arena they had seen her near. Dang it. And I just looked at it earlier. It's right near where they saw her get off the train. And it's not far. I mean, it was, to me on the map, it didn't seem that far from the bus station, but it could have been a lot longer than it looked. Not the Grove Squids. That's where the book signing was. It was, oh my gosh. Give me 1 second. Crypto Arena. That was it. I just Googled it. So the Grove was on the 9th. And then she was seen allegedly getting off the train with an unidentified male near the Crypto Arena. The LeBron James thing was at the Grove Squids. Yes, so that's where she was seen on. Oops, I'm on the wrong thing. Was there? Oh no, it was in that article or the news clip. Where she was seen on that video by a YouTuber. Oh, it's okay, Squids. It's a confusing case because a lot of the information is coming from the family, not law enforcement. And so they're doing their own investigation, which kudos to them. I just wonder, if people, if they can actually verify that the information is legitimate. All right, so here is, let's see, these text messages. Okay, so in an Instagram DM sent to Peterson on October 5th before she went missing, Kobayashi used a series of emojis and expressed her excitement for coming to New York. Okay, so this was something that Hannah had sent to her friend. So it says, Morrissey is playing in New Jersey on 11/13. I was thinking of making the trek. Probably going to be staying in Brooklyn 11/9 through 11/16. And then she did a rainbow, unicorn, stars. And does it say that? Oh, there was a lot of it here. My bad. So October 5th. I got a sweet little jungalow sanctuary in Haiku. Still, I'm going solo to New York City next month. And then she talked about Morrissey and that. So she has these emojis. One second. On November 10th, a YouTube video surfaced showing Kobayashi at the LeBron XX2 22 trial event at the Nike store in the Grove in Los Angeles. Kobayashi shared an image of the event on her Instagram. On November 11th, Kobayashi texted her mother saying she had not arrived in New York. Text messages from November 11th sent from her phone to friends and family have also surfaced. Quote, deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all of my funds, and have had me on a mind F since Friday, one text message to a friend said. Another one said, I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. That's interesting. So she sent the fact that she used the word funds in 2 text messages to 2 different people, because that's one of the words that her aunt, who had been on the news, had said the word funds wasn't like Hannah. It was like a strange word to use to say that you lost all your money. That's interesting. Another read, I'm just really scared, love, and the redwoods, if calling me, and I know I'm meant to be there, I'm being guided there, like you have before. I risk my freedom if this goes wrong for me, hun. So she used hun in 2 different messages as well. She also sent her aunt in New York, Pigeon. That's her aunt, who she was supposed to be going to stay with, a text saying, I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening. The ex-boyfriend, who has not been officially named, reportedly made it to New York. Kobayashi's former roommate, Alyssa Peterson, 29, who lived with her for 3 months in 2022 in Maui, also told the Post that she's suspicious of the text messages. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this was Monday, 5:29 a.m. So that would have been the 11th. Hi, loves. I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening. I'm charging my phone and heading back to the airport to get to New York City. I might need some help getting there. It's a long story. I'll keep you posted. I think I still have my hotel room. What was most concerning was the use of the word hun She does not say loving words like that, but it felt kind of cryptic, her message, said Peterson, who once ran a floral design business with Kobayashi and last spoke to her on October 5th. Since Hannah was heard from last on November 11th, the internet has been speculating over her whereabouts, with some alleging she was brainwashed by a cult or blackmailed by African hackers. Her father, Ryan Kobayashi, 58, and let me just go back to this. I believe, and this is just my opinion, based on what the family is saying, the family has come out and said they believe that she has been abducted, she's been kidnapped, she's been trafficked, she is in danger. Law enforcement has never stated anything of the sort. The family has said they believe that's what's happening. Her father, Ryan, 58, died of an apparent suicide on Sunday, November 24th, 6 days after his daughter was reported missing. The LA County Medical Examiners confirmed Monday that he jumped from an LAX parking garage while looking for his missing daughter. That doesn't make any sense. It feels really weird how cryptic the messages are considering how not cryptic Hannah is. At least the Hannah I know, Ursula said. I pray she's still alive. Yes, Callie, her dad took his own life. All right, so let's go back to, I'm going to just back this up a little bit. So, the family, not only is Hannah, they haven't heard from Hannah. They don't know where she's at. They don't know if she's okay. Her dad also had a lot of pain and a lot of grief. Yeah. So this, let me get rid of this comment. This is the still photo from the YouTube video that Hannah was spotted in. This is Hannah in the bottom right corner.
Back at LAX, and she posted a picture on her Instagram of the Nike event. Her phone was then switched off. A missing persons report for Hannah was filed 2 days later on after family members couldn't get through to her. Hannah's heartbroken sister, Sydney Kobayashi, has since said that the text may have been sent by someone else, admitting that she was...
And that's interesting too. I was just thinking about this because the one friend said she hadn't talked to Hannah since October 5th. That's over a month. The other friend had said, let me see if I can find it. One was October 5th. I just find it interesting that Hannah was texting all of her friends and family on the 11th. Let's see. Now I can't find it. But it's very strange that two of them said they hadn't talked to her in some time, and they got messages from her that were cryptic. So, I mean, I guess it's possible she was just texting everyone, but it's also weird. Unless she had time and she was waiting to get a connecting flight. And so she's like, I'm just going to send a bunch of people text messages because I have time to kill. Callie, according to the family, it was lack of sleep, anxiety, fear, thinking, that something terrible had happened to his daughter. There's a lot of speculation going on online. It's the comments I've been seeing on some posts is just absolutely disgusting. People want to make it that he found something out, or that whoever took Hannah like pushed him, and there's cameras. There was I saw this one video that the family had actually posted on Facebook, and this TikToker was saying he couldn't have done that because he had blunt force trauma. And it's like, ma'am, do you know what blunt force trauma is? Because you could get blunt force trauma in hundreds of different ways. It's gross. Like, but I don't think anything nefarious happened with the dad. I think he was just scared, and I don't know. Nobody's going to know because we're not him. But based on what the family said, it was because of those things. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Sunday. Why be cryptic and not just speak? Right. And like the whole thing with the redwoods, I had a spiritual awakening. That tells me that, I don't know, it's just so bizarre. So bizarre. Yeah, I agree, Callie Dime. Some people are really sick, but that is heartbreaking. I agree. Super heartbreaking. All right, so let's go back here.
Starting to feel uneasy in light of the messages. Speaking to News Nation, she said she feels like someone was controlling her, adding that she knows this is absolutely not like her. Hannah's aunt Larry travelled to Los Angeles with fellow family members, including Hannah's dad Ryan, as the search for the young woman ramped up. Hannah's family revealed they saw her in surveillance footage from November 11th that hasn't been released to the public, saying she didn't look well. They fear she may have been abducted or trafficked. Hannah was spotted at the Metro Pico station in downtown Los Angeles and was reportedly seen with another unknown person in the footage at 10:03 p.m. As the search continued, 17 days after Hannah missing her connected flight, her dad Ryan was tragically found dead in a parking lot in Los Angeles. The LA County Medical Examiner ruled his death as suicide. His heartbroken family say he bottled up his emotions as he tirelessly searched for his daughter. A GoFundMe page set up after Ryan's passing read, "He has been living his absolute worst nightmare since Hannah's disappearance, and now with his passing, our family is grappling with unimaginable grief."
And I completely agree with that statement. Hey, Just Irish, how are you? Yeah, a little bit like culty, but it just, I don't know. It's just, if I had missed my connecting flight, I would not leave the airport. I would be standing there waiting to get on a flight. I would not want to explore LA or wherever I was. Most of the layovers I've had have been in Chicago. I'm going to wait in the airport because if I've never missed a flight, I've almost missed a flight, but if I had missed a flight, I would be there like asking like, is there room? Is there room? Is there room? So that's why I'm starting to think that she did intentionally miss her connecting flight, but at the same time, and actually, let me show this photo. So this photo that I'm going to show, the family had released this initially, and then they no longer, like, it's really hard to find this photo. The family, like, I don't know. You can only find it certain places. So this photo was of Hannah. The family released, or this was on a news clip that we had watched, and so it's blurry because I screenshot it from that. This shows Hannah collecting her bags after she returned to LAX to get her bags. So because she had that connecting flight, her bags, with the exception of her backpack, her bag was checked, which would have continued on to New York City. Based on what I've looked into, you have to request that your bags be sent back to the airport where you missed your flight, if that makes sense. Which would mean Hannah would have requested that her bags be sent back to LAX and not put in lost and found at wherever she came in New York. I don't know if it was JFK or LaGuardia. So that's also interesting that she returned to pick up her checked bag. And this is her in the airport, which is believed to be November 11th. And this is when also her phone last pinged at LAX near the baggage claim. How far away are the redwoods? That's a good question. Sinner, are you here? Wow. Okay, so Google says 702 miles. The driving distance between Los Angeles Airport, LAX, to Redwood National Park is 702 miles. It takes approximately 12 hours, 6 minutes to drive from LAX to Redwood National Park. So that would possibly explain why she was getting a bus. But then, because the messages were so cryptic, I don't think she even necessarily was going to the redwoods. You know what I mean? Like, very far. Okay. Yeah. So, right, Callie Dime. I said the same thing. I don't know if I missed my connecting flight if I go shopping. And I guess one of her family members had said, I don't remember the aunt's name, but she did a lot of the interviews with Hannah's dad. She had said that they think Hannah decided to just, sightsee Los Angeles. But, like you said, it was like an hour drive away. I wouldn't go sightseeing, but that's just me. I want to get to where I'm going. Northern California. So then, and her family said they were going to be looking at South LA, San Diego, and I don't remember the other place. But so this is just interesting because this is the last, I guess, official sighting or last photo that we have of Hannah in the airport. There was another photo of her at the baggage claim with her bags. I was not able to find that one before my live. So, but I was able to find this one. And this shows that, and I mean, I don't feel that she looks like her family said when they saw her in the one surveillance, she looked sickly or not well. To me, Hannah looks fine in this photo. She's got the same clothes on that she did when she got off the airplane. She's got her headphones. She's got her backpack. She's got her cell phone. So at least from November 11th, she appeared to me well.
Ryan was said to have scoured some of LA's most dangerous neighborhoods in a bid to find Hannah. Hannah's Aunt Larry told the New York Post, "Imagine looking in places like Skid Row, picturing his daughter being sex trafficked, not getting sleep. He just broke." Skid Row has long had a reputation for being seedy and dangerous and has a significant concentration of unhoused people since the Great Depression. In another tragic twist, the US Sun exclusively reported how 2 Venmo payments were sent to a man and a woman on November 9th. Her family say they didn't.
Okay, so that I had stated that was in the spreadsheet, that I did just try to request access again just to read it, and I just saw the email. I was denied. So I know Gray Hughes went through the timeline the other day, so I thought they were still allowing people to look at it, but I guess not. So there was 2 people allegedly that she had sent Venmo payments to, and so the Sun is saying that they were able to confirm that that's true. Very weird. Very weird. Oh, he had like on the video or like a live stream interview. Of course he would.
Recognize the names of the people who were wired money. Hannah's Aunt Larry confirmed to the US Sun that the family had seen the payments and allegations she met with a scammer. She said, "We have been made aware and so have the LAPD. It's in their hands."
Okay, so the family has seen the payments and didn't recognize the name. So I guess it is verified. She sent money to 2 people, which possibly, I don't know who those people are, but if she had met them when she was at the Grove or wherever else she went, maybe, they said, "Hey, we can help you do this or that or whatever." So she sent money, and then that's why she was saying she lost all of her quote funds. Oh, that guy got scammed too. Another creator played it the other night while I was at work. Interesting. And it reminds me of, with like these Nigerian scammers, possibly like if she said in those texts, like, I met somebody online, whether or not that was true or not, if that was Hannah writing or not. I don't know. It's just so bizarre. And, maybe she's not watching the news or looking at the internet, or, her phone has been off. But to me, if she was able to see the news and she was able to see that her dad, in his despair, made that decision, that she would come forward. And that's why I tend to think that, I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
Also now encouraging people from across the nation to keep an eye in case she has been taken outside of California. As of November 28th, Larry revealed there have been new sightings of her missing niece as police pursue what she calls really credible leads. She told Maui News that she is hopeful the new sightings could eventually bring Hannah home as the grieving family continue their desperate search.
All right. So I did have... Let's see. I did have an article. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one. It kind of is repetitive from what I had read in their statement, but this is from Hawaii News Now. Hannah Kobayashi family frustrated over LAPD's comments about her disappearance. The family of Hannah Kobayashi is expressing disappointment and frustration with the LAPD over its recent comments about her disappearance. The disappearance of the 30-year-old Hawaii native continues to make national headlines. On Tuesday, LA Police Chief Jim McDonnell said Kobayashi, quote, intentionally missed her connecting flight from LAX to New York on November 8th. The Kobayashi family... Okay, this article is really poorly written. The Kobayashi family said the public announcement caught them off guard. The way that it kind of seems to state it is she went out and about to do her own thing, said her sister Sydney. She fears the new information might discourage people from searching for her. She's also disturbed that the police chief said Hannah was 23 years old instead of her actual age of 30. To hear that and not to have it run by our family first, but to get her age wrong after that, it's very discouraging, explained Sydney Kobayashi. I don't want to bash the LAPD. I don't want to discredit them if they are doing what they are doing, but at this time, it makes us very confused as to where they are at. Sydney said she continues to believe that Hannah is in danger. One reason is because even if she decided to go off the grid, Hannah would have reached out after her father, who spent 13 days looking for her, committed suicide. And that's kind of what I said. With my father's passing, with it being everywhere, in her right state of mind, she would have never thought to not reach out to anybody. Meanwhile, LAPD on Tuesday said it intends to bring Hannah home. Our hearts go out to the Kobayashi family during this unimaginable time of grief. We remain fully committed to locating Hannah and supporting the family as they navigate this tragedy. Hawaii News Now reached out to LAPD about the family's concerns and is waiting to hear back. Meanwhile, Hannah's sister urges the public to remain vigilant. All right, so the next clip is the newest that I was able to find, and this is from KTLA. And it kind of goes over the same, what the LAPD statement was.
Our top story at 6:30. It has been 3 weeks since we first reported the disappearance of a Maui woman passing through LA.
Her family now speaking out this morning, saying the investigation is not going how they'd hoped. KTLA's Jacqueline Sarkeesian live in Hollywood this morning with why they're pointing fingers at police. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, good morning to both of you. Yes, this woman missing is Hannah. Like you guys mentioned, it's been more than 3 weeks since she was last seen at LAX. Now, her mother and sister releasing a statement on Facebook last night claiming investigators are reporting false information about the case and that there's been a lack of communication between the family and those investigators. Now, let's show you a little more of that statement. Like I mentioned, this was posted on Facebook. The sister, Sydney Kobayashi, goes on to say, quote, the lack of communication surrounding some important details has left us feeling excluded from potentially crucial developments. However, we do remain optimistic that the Los Angeles Police Department is doing everything in their power to assist us in locating Hannah. It's been a little more than 3 weeks since Hannah was last seen. She's from Maui and flew from Hawaii to LA for a short layover as she was heading to visit her aunt in New York City on November 8th. However, she never got on that connecting flight. According to family, she went on to a LeBron James event.
Okay, and this is the last ping of Hannah's phone. So this is where her phone last pinged before it was turned off.
Event at the Grove 2 days after missing her flight. She texted family members saying she was scared and frustrated. Her phone was then pinged back to LAX the next day, but her last known location was the Pico metro station near crypto.com, where she was seen with an unknown person. From that point on, authorities and family started searching for Hannah, her father even flying to LA to help.
Please come back, Hannah. You know, so many people love you. You're just a beautiful girl, inside, outside. You know, just reach out if you can at all.
Shortly after the father spoke, things really took a turn for the worst. A week ago today, Ryan Kobayashi was found dead in a parking lot near LAX, right where the search was centered. LAPD says he died by suicide. It's been reported that the police department determined Hannah intentionally missed her flight to New York. Her sister and mother disagree. According to the LA Times, the flight tickets were purchased by Hannah's ex-boyfriend before they broke up. They decided to go on the trip anyways because he could not get the money back. The plan was to go their separate ways once landing in New York. As far as the search goes, the sister says the family is looking in all parts of LA County as well as San Diego County. We did reach out to LAPD for an update, but have yet to hear back. Reporting live from Hollywood, Jacqueline Sarkeesian, KTLA 5 News.
So, and that was something too, like the boyfriend, I guess, they were broke up. So he probably just, when they got off the plane, I'm guessing maybe they just didn't, they weren't friendly anymore. I'm not sure. But I would think, you would kind of try to make it together, and maybe, I don't know. It's weird. I'm curious what the ex-boyfriend, what his observations were. Like, did they get off the plane together? Did they, not even speak? That just, it makes me wonder. So that's all I have on Hannah. I was hoping that I would be able to, they would approve me for the Facebook group, but they have not yet. So not a whole lot more to report. Let's see. Just gonna look one more time. Oops. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so here's an article from, this is from an hour ago. This is from the Daily Mail, which, I could take or leave, but they did have some new information. These ads are really annoying. How do I get rid of this? Stop seeing this. Not interested. Okay, I guess I can't get rid of it. So major twist in case of missing Hawaii woman Hannah Kobayashi leaves family furious as they hit out at police chief. And this was updated today at 7:09 Eastern, so about an hour ago. Los Angeles police have apparently determined that a missing Hawaii woman, Hannah Kobayashi, intentionally missed her flight to New York City, though her family says she would never do that. The 30-year-old disappeared from the streets of downtown Los Angeles after missing a connecting flight from her native Maui to the Big Apple on November 8th. She had earlier sent a friend a text message saying she had a spiritual awakening and was later seen in the company of a mystery man on November 11th. Let me see what this hyperlink brings us to. All right, we'll take a look at this. I don't know. This is kind of... So it says, hidden clues over Hannah Kobayashi's kidnapping. Oh, and quote, yeah. Mystery of the missing 30-year-old took a tragic twist when her father... Why do they have to say that? Say it like that. So it says, written neatly on a notebook page adorned with doodles, 30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi had set down everything she planned to do on a 4,900-mile bucket list trip from Hawaii to New York. Instead, her journey has ended in a chaotic double tragedy after she went missing earlier this month. On Sunday, her distraught father took his own life after fruitless attempts to find her. We're not going to go through that again. Having spent thousands of dollars on hotel rooms and concert tickets, she'd just been given a press pass and says her family couldn't have been more excited. However, in a deeply puzzling mystery that was gripping the U.S. even before her devastated father's death, investigators now fear Hannah never got farther than LA. Mr. Kobayashi, who was divorced from Hannah's mother, had been among family members and friends who'd flown from their home on the Hawaiian islands of Maui to look for Hannah. The support group for the family said his death had compounded the family's suffering immeasurably. They remained deeply worried about Hannah's safety, and after she was pictured leaving LA's main airport with an unknown person, fear she was... Wait a minute. That's the first I've been hearing that. She was pictured leaving LA's main airport with an unknown person. The family said it was the metro station, the Pico metro station. Yeah, nobody knows who the mystery person is. The family said they're not releasing it because it's an active investigation. Okay, that gets into the conspiracy. I'm not going to talk about all that. Okay, so they talked, that last article had said, the boyfriend, they booked the tickets. So here it says, however, the ex-boyfriend, who has not yet been named, was able to make the connection. Hannah told her family that she'd missed it and was trying to get on a new flight. But security camera footage captured her leaving the airport carrying only a backpack. In the following afternoon, she went into an art bookshop at a smart shopping center called The Grove in downtown LA, 10 miles away, for reasons her family can only put down to her love of exploring. Staff at the Taschen bookstore say she asked them if she could charge her phone while she went to get some food. She even filled out a mailing list and gave her Hawaiian address. Staff said she seemed in good spirits. However, she then sent an electronic payment to 2 people whose names her family didn't recognize. The following day, November 10th, Hannah returned to the same shopping center and staff to the same bookshop. At 3:40 p.m., she appeared in the background of a video shot outside a Nike event at the Grove featuring basketball star LeBron James. She posted a photo of the event on Instagram. Hannah, who has a tattoo of a knife on one forearm, was wearing the same clothes, black hooded sweatshirt and tie-dye leggings she'd had on when she got off the flight from Hawaii. A day later, she was back at LAX airport arranging an American Airlines flight to New York. Again, she didn't get on it. However, by then, her family and friends had started receiving oddly phrased messages that her aunt described as super strange and alarming. We started getting texts saying that she didn't feel safe, that someone was trying to steal her funds, that someone was trying to take her identity. In one, Hannah wrote, "I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening." She said she was heading to New York, but I might need some help getting there. It's a long story. Another message apologized for her craziness, adding she had been intercepted. In others, she said she was worried someone might be trying to steal her money and identity. "I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds," read a message to one of Hannah's friends. A second to the same recipient added, "For someone I thought I loved." A particularly sinister text said, "Deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all of my funds, and have had me on a mind F since Friday." In another, she said, "Matrix style, I'm safe. For the good of all, I will keep you posted." Her relatives now believe they were either sent by someone else or by Hannah under duress. As her aunt explained, Hannah often used emojis for words, and yet the messages they received didn't contain a single emoji. There were words like funds. Who uses that word? Hannah's phone was reportedly switched off at the airport and has since sent no more messages. However, she was later spotted on CCTV on November 11th getting on a metro train in LA with an unidentified person she hadn't mentioned to her family. Okay, so now they're saying there is CCTV. Interesting. Because and so I'm hoping that the reason they haven't released the CCTV is that investigators are investigating. Yeah, Coddle, I'm thinking that too. I believe this was playing by whoever she met online. She was tricked. She knows no one in LA. Our entire family knows no one in LA. At around 10 p.m. that night, footage shows the pair leaving the Pico metro station in a rough central LA neighborhood that her family insists their daughter would never normally visit. Images have not been released, but Hannah's family said in a statement, "It is evident that Hannah does not appear to be in good condition and she is not alone." They filed a missing persons report the following day, and LA police launched a social media campaign to find her. Although Hannah's loved ones have complained, the authorities didn't take their claim seriously for 10 days. Her Aunt Lori said Hannah had been determined to get to New York and planning the trip for months. She'd finally got a press pass. It was one of the biggest accomplishments of her life. She dismissed speculation that she had been drunk or on drugs when she disappeared. "Everything just doesn't add up," said her father Ryan shortly before his death. "There's so much confusion." I agree. Lots of confusion. Let's take a look at this because this looks like it shows the text and her bucket list.
A local family is hoping for answers after their loved one went missing in California. Hannah Kobayashi flew out of Maui on her way to New York last Friday, but she never got a connecting flight in Los Angeles. Bryce Moore spoke to her mother and sister and has more.
Hannah Kobayashi sent her mom these handwritten notes with her plans for the Big Apple before.
Oh, this is the one where we tried playing it before, and it has this stupid ad in the middle, so you can't. Oh, come on.
Before she left Maui last Friday, she was supposed to arrive in New York on Saturday, but never confirmed she got there.
And then so I reached out to her, and I'm like, "Hey, are you in New York yet?" And she's like, "No." And it was weird because the flight that she was supposed to go on had already.
See, I wish this didn't do this. I want to read it.
Flown.
Hannah's family and friends haven't heard from her since Monday when she sent these strange messages about having her identity and money stolen. Since then, her phone has been off, but her last pinned location was at the Los Angeles airport.
It sounded very cryptic, or like it just.
And one thing too that I'm wondering, it doesn't appear that they're showing the full threads of text messages. Like they're showing parts of it, but not all of it. So I'm curious myself, what do the rest of the text messages say? Because are those not cryptic? Are they more like Hannah?
This was not her. Yeah, we share location, and we know her phone's off because it goes straight to voicemail. We've been trying to call, text. None of the texts are getting delivered. We can't locate her phone. Calls go straight to voicemail.
A missing persons report was filed in Los Angeles yesterday, and Hannah's family has also been in touch with Maui police, hoping a little awareness goes a long way.
We did like everything that we could do, and they told us that it would have to take 48 hours before they could do anything because she's not elderly. She's not mentally off. She's not underage. I woke up last night crying, and this is like the sister, mother, anyone's worst nightmare of losing your child.
Maui police confirmed a report was filed with them last night, but it's outside of their jurisdiction. I'm still waiting to hear back from LAPD. Bryce Moore.
Interesting. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right. Sorry about that. I feel like I have to sneeze, but it's not coming. All right. So see, let me just go back. Okay, here's where... All right, get out of here, video. Okay, so we looked at those text messages. But at a Board of Police Commissioners meeting on November 26, LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell said the investigation determined that Hannah's missed connection was intentional. On November 15th, our missing persons unit assumed investigative responsibility. Detectives have been diligently reviewing video surveillance and employing various investigative techniques to locate Hannah, while her family has continued their personal search efforts. He went on to say that the LAPD remains committed to locating Hannah and supporting the family as they navigate their way through this tragedy. Whoa, this is Hannah? What? Holy cow, it doesn't even look like her. LA Police Chief Jim McDonnell, Hannah Kobayashi pictured. She looks so different. Possibly Pookie, like just not releasing a lot. She looks so different in this picture to me. And she does have a lot of identifying tattoos as well, it appears. View gallery, let's see. There's her dad. Godspeed to him. Oh, here's a nice... Okay, so this is kind of cool. So it shows dates. So November 8th. So this is number one. This is... So November 8th, 9:53 p.m., she landed at LAX. November 9th, from 12 to 3 p.m., spotted at the Taschen Books at the Grove Mall. So she went from here to here. Then she went back to LAX on the 9th. And then the 10th, she went back to the Grove at 3:40 p.m., seen at an event at the Nike store at the Grove. Then she went back to LAX at 5 p.m., spoke to a ticketing agent at LAX. November 11th, 9:02 p.m., boarded LAX Metro C line at Aviation Century Station. She then changed train at Rosa Parks Station. And then at 10:03 p.m., she leaves the Metro Pico Station. That's a lot of moving back and forth. And I mean, that's like a lot of back and forth, back and forth. But this is actually, I'm glad I saw this. This is a really good visual. Actually, can I save this? I can. Perfect. All right. Save that. Oh, here's the Venmo payments. So it says Hannah Kobayashi. She has 2 friends on Venmo. She paid Jonathan Taylor for a reading. And I can't, let me see, can I open this in a new tab? Oh, here we go. And then the second one was Veronica Almendarez, and it shows a bow and arrow. This had 8 likes. This one had 5 likes. It's weird. Okay, so there's where she said she got tricked into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. Callie, she has not been at the Redwoods National Park. She had just, in one of those text messages that she sent to her friend, she had said something about the Redwoods, about going to the Redwoods, that she had a spiritual awakening. Hey, Evil Queen. All right, so let's go. Oh, I don't know why it took me out of the whole article. Okay. So it says, yet Kobayashi's family said police chief had never actually told them about the evidence that she intentionally missed her flight, with Sydney suggesting there was no evidence. She claimed in a statement on social media that the family was unaware of the alleged findings presented at the LA Police Commission meeting until multiple videos of the meeting were sent to us by multiple citizens. These alleged findings have yet to be relayed to my mother and I directly from the chief of the LAPD or any detective involved in Hannah's case. So they talk a little bit about how they got the details incorrect, such as Hannah's age, and that she was reported missing on the 11th, not the 13th, as stated. The lack of communication surrounding some important details has left us feeling excluded from potentially crucial developments. However, we do remain hopeful and optimistic that the LAPD is doing everything in their power to assist us in locating Hannah. Sydney also hit out at the report to Hawaii News Now, saying the police chief, quote, kind of seems to state it as if she went out and about to do her own thing, which may discourage people from searching for her. I don't want to bash the LAPD. I don't want to discredit them if they are doing what they are doing. But at this time, it makes us very confused as to where they are at. Sydney also said she continues to believe Hannah is in danger, noting that even if her sister decided to go off grid, she would have reached out after her father passed away. She went on to say she is convinced Hannah wouldn't have ran away and was an amazing and beautiful person. Okay, and then it just kind of gets into that map we saw. There's the map again. Oh, and so the Venmo payment, it was undisclosed amounts. Interesting. Let me see if I can find. Oh, nope, that's it. All right. So that's all we've got for Hannah. Just such a strange case. Strange case. Oh, stop sharing. So hopefully, investigators are still able to track her movements. The family has said they have confirmed that she was at the Union Station. They believe she got a bus. So hopefully, somehow they're able to track her movements, whether it be by credit card or something like that. So, I have one last story for us before I go, and this is actually a really heartwarming story about a 90, I can't remember, I think he's 92, a 92-year-old man with dementia who was missing for 3 days. And he was found after someone saw him on a news segment at a homeless shelter eating Thanksgiving dinner. I will say I have watched this. You may need tissues. It is such a good story. Such a good story. So I'm hoping that just like in this story that Hannah's family will also be able to bring her home.
Well, it is a Thanksgiving miracle. A 91-year-old man was reunited with his wife after going missing for nearly 3 days. We're happy to report KSL actually played a part in their happy ending. News specialist Garna Mejia joining us live from the newsroom with the details. And Garna, these are the stories that we just love reporting on, right?
They sure are, Ashley. And what are the odds? Michael Black was found here in Salt Lake City, more than 200 miles from his home in Wyoming. His wife had no idea where.
So 200 miles away. 200 miles he had wandered off. He actually hitchhiked and ended up 200 miles away from his home.
He was until she turned on the news and spotted him in one of our segments.
Michael and Avril Black have built a lifetime of memories. They live in Afton, Wyoming. But 8 years ago, Michael was diagnosed with dementia, and on Monday, he wandered away.
At that point, I did enter him into NCIC as a missing person.
Afton Police Chief Jason Romberg says it wasn't long before the tips started coming in. Police traced 91-year-old Michael hitchhiking
91.
from Afton to Ovid, Idaho, down to Utah and Garden City, and finally to Salt Lake City. But then the trail went cold.
I didn't know where he was.
Meanwhile, the rescue mission of Salt Lake got a call.
I got a call from an LDS elder saying they picked up somebody at the bus station and wanted to bring him by. I said, okay. It was about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Normally we're closed at that time. But I said, bring him by. Turned out he was 91 years old, a Korean war vet. He was just a really sweet guy, you know.
The next day, Jay Rouse got to talking with the stranger.
I realized that the sweet old man was in need of some help.
Back in Afton, Avril was still praying for help. Then she turned on the news Wednesday night.
Today, the rescue mission of Salt Lake planned on.
I put the 10 o'clock news on.
Just in time for the segment on Thanksgiving at the rescue mission.
And I thought, well, wait a minute. I'm sure I saw Michael. So I paused the TV, set it back, and yeah, sure enough, there he was.
Right there in the background was Michael.
I mean, it was so unreal. Oh, I was so relieved. I actually slept that night.
Still in disbelief, Avril took this picture. By Thanksgiving morning, everyone connected the dots. Following another lead, Jay called Afton police, and they confirmed the 91-year-old man was indeed Michael. Avril drove to Salt Lake to pick up her sweetheart.
I'm speechless. It just blows me away that happened. Boy, does he have some guardian angel looking after him. And you guys, thank goodness that you guys were there.
Well, and Avril was just so.
And just the chances of her turning on the news at that time when they had that story, and then to see him, and then I was thinking, I mean, I don't know, like news stations here, like that's a pretty far distance. So maybe she was watching it on the internet, or maybe they do broadcast that far from where they live to where he was. But just the fact that she was watching and said, oh my gosh, that's him. And the fact that he made it safely, that in itself is a good thing.
Grateful for all of those everyday angels, from the police to the missionary to the volunteers at the rescue home who looked out for Michael and made sure that he was okay. I'm Garna Mejia, KSL 5 News.
Oh, this story gives me chills. Garna, great story. Thank you.
Oh,
well, it is a Thanksgiving miracle.
Such a good story. Yeah. Good ending for sure. So thanks everybody for being here. Yeah, good ending. So that's why I wanted to, put this one on, because, just like Hannah, he was missing for 3 days. And so they finally got him into, in as a missing person, and just someone saw him on the street and said, hey, I think this guy needs help. And the news just happened to be at this shelter that was helping people during Thanksgiving. So such a good thing. Hey, Marie, I agree. Prayers for Hannah's family. All right, everyone. Well, I'm going to get going because my nose, if you can't tell, is getting very stuffy again. So I am going to close this up. I don't think I'll be live tomorrow. Depends on how I feel. But I do have Wordsy Wednesday already scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So I hope that I see you all then. If I don't see you on these YouTube streets, I will see you all on the flip side.
Let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way. Even when I'm feeling down, I fight. Even when I don't know what is right, I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shape me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone.